Alright. Is this working now? Hooray! Okay. Now this is Final Fantasy XIII on Steam, on PC, and stuff. This is not the PS3 version, and we'll see if this holds. I don't know if it will. So, yeah, the port's not great. And the reason why it's not great is because they've decided not to put an FPS limiter or something like that. I guess we'll see whether or not that applies here. Here we go. Alright, I think I had to manually put a FPS limiter on it, but we'll see if that actually functions. Alright. Is there going to be a cutscene up here? I need to see. Because I don't want to start my explanation of the battle system when there's like a giant cutscene. There we go. Hey look, it's 30. Also, this game's really beautiful looking. Alright, anyway, wandering in. Yeah, there'll be a cutscene. You'll be able to see the Japanese voice language, which is not in the original release in the United States. It's probably just chugging because I'm doing a video recording at the same time. It's like at pretty high graphical settings. Like, why is his coat clipping? If you're not into typical anime melodrama and stuff like that, this is not going to appeal to you at all. I'm okay with it. A lot of people aren't. Also, why is his coat like jiggling like that? There is something going on with that coat. Yeah, see, if you've actually played the original, this seems super weird to you. Yeah, and these are not actual subtitles. These are just basically the American version of the game, kind of transplanted. But it's better than having Vanille and Fang be Australian or whatever. Wait, how did you... Oh, goodness, this game. I'm just going to not say anything for a bit. It's very shiny and pretty. That's all I'll say about it. Wait, how did she meet her? Oh, it seems like the game's running fine now. And look! The mouth matches! It's unbelievable! That's why this is a 60 gigabyte download on Steam. Because they basically just took all the animation files for the American and Japanese version and just jammed them together. Because people were like, we want Japanese voice language. And they're like, okay, here you go. So I guess both languages actually don't fit on one Blu-ray disc. Very strange. I guess these are plot spoilers for a 6-year-old game, which I don't think people care about. Most people would say the story of this game is horrible, which may or may not be true. Depends on your perspective. Also, this is in 720p, so if you're curious, that's why. And I guess my computer is not strong enough to record all 30 frames per second continuously. And she's one of the main characters of the second game. So if you've ever actually played that one, she's in that one. That one. We don't laugh at dreams in this universe. Yeah, maybe people don't like that lassie and falsy stuff. Maybe that's what they hate. Which actually makes sense after a while, but if you think they're stupid names, you'll think it's stupid. Who even knew how they came up with that? I like how the music swells when they say, like, important things. Or things the game think is important, like friendship and love and stuff. And this game came out in 2010. Just don't look at their hands, because their hands look weird. If you look at the fingernails... Sorry, these are freaking things I notice. But the fingernails look really weird when they're on camera. Like they spent so much time on the face and other things, like they just forgot the fingernails. That's why you won't see them in a lot of shots. Anyway, are they going to let me actually play the game now? She met everybody. Oh. Yeah, this game's kind of like about predestination and free will, if you were curious. It would take me forever to explain, though. So, can we do combat now? We've been talking about how Sarah turned into Crystal for like ever in this game. Okay, now that you've gotten a taste of that, freely you may skip all of it. Okay, we seem to be having this jaggy 60 to 30 frames per second thing going on here again. Alright, well, on my screen it looks fine, but on the recording screen it looks really weird, so this is how it looks. Whatever. Anyway, off to things that matter. Alright, so this game is a very weird game for combat purposes. It has a really interesting combat system, which will be demonstrated by this Crystarium. Okay, so there's no traditional leveling in Final Fantasy XIII. There's what's called this Crystarium. As a quote-unquote l'Cie, which is a servant of the false gods of this universe, you are supposed to fulfill your focus, and by doing that, they give you 6 different, basically job classes, if you want to think of it that way. So, Commando is basically your attacking, melee attack kind of thing going on. It's a little straightforward. It comes into play in the battle system now. Ravager is your basic spellcaster class. Sentinel is your tank class. If you've ever played an MMO, they just kind of absorb lots of hits because they have such high defense. Saboteur is a debuffing class, so that means they put things like make enemies more vulnerable to magic spells, or they slow them down. Synergist is a buffing class for your party. That's exactly the opposite. If you remember Haste from previous Final Fantasy games, it's kind of like that. And then Medic is your healer role. So you have 3 party members at any one time, and you put them into what are called paradigms. You get 6 paradigms per 3 party members, and you can assemble these character classes in various configurations. Because most of combat revolves around what's called a Stagger Meter. This gets really complicated real quick. So the Stagger Meter is kind of your goal in any specific combat encounter. What you want to do is you want to find an enemy, you want to stagger him by hitting him with a bunch of Commando, Ravager, Saboteur attacks. Sometimes Sentinels can do it too. But building up the Stagger Meter, once it hits the cap, which can be anywhere from like 100% to 999%, they get staggered, and your Commando can actually launch them in the air, and they take increasingly higher damage the higher the Stagger Meter goes up until it runs out again. And then you're back to square one. But usually that doesn't happen. So most of the classes revolve around this. Commando abilities usually prevent the Stagger Meter from actually draining, which is incredibly useful, and you'll be using it a lot. And Ravagers are the class that make it go up the most. At the beginning of most battles, you'll want to do Libra, which is basically an analysis thing, which lets you see what the enemy weaknesses are. And the reason why you get these paradigms is because the game actually runs way too fast for you to micromanage most of the time, so you only control one character, and the other character's actions are dictated by their role. So in Delta Tactics, for example, I'll play as Lightning because Lightning's the most interesting to play as, and then the other characters are Sentinel, who blocks all of the attacks, hopefully, and the Ravager, which builds up the chain gauge. And I get to control Lightning, make sure she's hitting multiple targets, that sort of thing, or at least impeding targets enough. So a lot of the times you just want to do Libra, and then you want to use auto attacks, because the auto attacks adjust and shift to the weaknesses of the enemies that you've discovered through that thing. It's hard to really describe this without it actually being in action, but I guess we're going to try right now. I just want to organize these. Also, the music in this game is great. I happen to own the soundtrack myself. Alright, let me go get this. We are going to get either totally rocked in this encounter. It's possible because I did not do any side quests on my way here, unlike my first time through. So I could just get totally rocked. But we will see. Okay. So, here we go. Alright. Libra. Alright, Fang's taking care of the enemies right now. Hopefully, somebody friggin' heal me. I could just die. Yep, I'm dead. I'm dead. Yeah. Totally rocked. And this happens a lot if you're even slightly underleveled, because the game is not really giving you a big margin of error. Okay, let's see. What we need here is this, so that we can actually survive the initial stage of the fight. Hopefully I'll actually live long enough. Okay. I don't really care about my score on these, so I'm just not going to care. Maybe we're underleveled? I don't know. I would assume we are. Hey, come on. There we go. Alright. Can I even do this? Alright, let's try this. Alright, see, as you can tell, I'm just auto-attacking right now at this particular moment. Alright, and they're all attacking her. That's good. Alright, come back. Oh no. Is she gonna die? Heal her up! Ah! And you switch paradigms to make the game a little more efficient. Over and over and over again. And you have to figure out what the optimal combination to deal with any particular enemy group is. So as you can see, we've kind of stabilized at this point. Assuming that Fang does not die in the next, like, second. And she basically will take the attacks, hopefully. Why is that thing attacking me? And why is it attacking Hope? Please stop that. What is going on? I'm totally getting wrecked right now. This is not working. I think I gotta go back and level. Wow. Okay. This is not how I expected this to go. But it's fine. I'll just turn my way around and leave. Because clearly I am not high enough in level. Oh yeah, just so you know, most characters seem to have some kind of specialization in a particular class. So Lightning's kind of an all-around, which helps in this game because you only have 3 party members. I think Hope is supposed to be the best synergist, and Fang's supposed to be the best commando. But they're also good at secondary roles, which is why most guides recommend them. Alright, I'm going back. Back we go! Can I skip this? Yes, I can. Alright, I'll make a decent showing of this, hopefully. Definitely not what I expected. But it happened, so. How many cutscenes are there? Okay, there we go. I think I missed how to be good at the game. Wait, where am I? Am I back at the beginning of this area? Maybe. Let me turn around and see. I honestly have just gone through here, so I don't know whether or not they're... Oh, enemies. Okay, Atomos is there. Let me go back. I really didn't expect this to happen, because I thought I was actually going to be high enough in level, but apparently not. I just want to fight some enemies, guys. Come on, how hard could this be? Oh, okay. Alright, let's set this to Delta attack again. Hopefully this will be good enough. I have no idea what these enemies do, but if they rock my world, it's because this game does have areas where you could just get totally destroyed. Okay, that's doable. It really depends on the first attack that you see. Alright. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm using Commando, and I'm using this to make sure we have enough Mystic Tower to bump up that stagger gauge, which you'll see in the upper right-hand corner. Alright. And basically, Fang is just sitting there taking all the hits for us. Yeah, and we couldn't even stagger it before it was dead. It still hits pretty hard, though, so... Alright, let's see. Hit. Yeah, you get it to a certain level, and then you can pretty much Mystic Tower your way through it. Pump up that gauge. I can't believe I was so under-leveled. Goodness. Well, I did pretty good up until this point. They want you to do side quests, but they don't really say it. So this is their way of subtly saying, do side quests. Because we're pretty far into the game at this point, where they let you use your own battle party, among other things. Yeah, 3 stars, not bad. Alright. I'm not sure if this... Oh. So... We'll wait. If we get a preemptive strike, that'd be awesome. But I doubt we will. Did we? We did! Excellent. If you get a preemptive strike, you automatically raise their... what do you call it? Their Stagger Meter, which obviously is helpful. If you hadn't guessed already. Alright. Launch. Do. Alright, and you're basically doing this multitasking the entire time. And then when you need to shift paradigms, you just press the LB and you switch paradigms. Sometimes you need to have good timing on this, because, you know, big enemy boss attacks, stuff like that. It would be pretty harrowing, to say the least. Alright, they're both attacking her. Yeah, probably switch to Mystic Tower. Fang will be fine. Although we don't get to see much of her being a commando, because I use her as a sentinel most of the time. I even use, like, Saboteur at all, because it's, like, impossible to survive. Alright, let's hope I can keep that stagger going. And I can. Excelente. Relentless Assault is usually your stock paradigm, because you just blow things up, but... In this particular section of the game, enemies seem to be killing me too fast for that to actually be useful, so I have not been doing it. Okay, let's see what's up here. Yeah, and the game's mostly just running down corridors and... Oh boy, that don't look good. Here we go! But it's nice. The game's nice and gives you a free retry at the end, so it's not so bad. It could be a lot worse. Yep, and AoE attacks actually work like AoE attacks, which has to be one of the most surprising things. Oh my goodness. Wow, we need Combat Clinic. That's 2 medics and a sentinel. Problem is at the beginning of most fights, like, the sentinel hasn't gotten aggro from the enemies, so sometimes you just get totally rocked right at the beginning, and it's definitely not great. Alright, Mystic Tower. These enemies are very... they're not immune to chaining, but they're pretty resistant to it, so... Alright. She could die right here. I was playing it risky. Alright, kill the thing. Yeah, usually the game's pretty good at picking the automatic commands, which is fine. Because you're more like a battlefield general in this game than you are controlling individual actions of your party members. Okay, and we need to actually use this. Alright, hit again. Switch paradigms again. Oh, goodness. Yeah, and sometimes you can't control where your party members are sitting because they're idiots, and they decide they want to sit next to the Sentinel, which makes perfect sense. But occasionally this frustrates me to no end, but most of the time it's pretty okay. Watch, here it goes again. Ouch! Everybody got hit. Alright, now to fight this big thing, which we don't know the stagger of, so we're going to have to use a Libra. Combat Clinic, because its attack is really dangerous. I think that's a fair estimation. You can also cancel commands at any time, so that helps. Alright, back we go. Oh crap, that was probably not the best move, but oh well. Or maybe it isn't. Alright. Let's see if we can Relentless Assault this thing out of its misery. Or not. That Stagger Meter's going down way too slow. I mean, literally, it's just gonna sit there. Thanks, auto attack, for not helping me there. Yeah, solidarity is pretty useful too. The inability to control where your party members are standing can be frustrating, to say the least. Especially if you're trying to do the game, like, under-leveled. Clearly, they didn't intend for you to do certain battles at a certain level. Or Crystarium, yeah. Level is not quite the right word, but in terms of RPG, JRPG leveling stuff, yeah. I like that each battle kind of involves its own little strategy, though. Alright. I just don't want to get rocked by a single attack, because I know this has happened so many times to me, I can't even tell you. Most people would have done a bunch of side quests and actually done themselves some good, but I did not, so... Alright, Mystic Tower. You could probably chain it up there. Also, this battle theme is fantastic. I think Masashi Hamazao composed it. Alright, finally, let's... No, that's not what I wanted, but this is what I want. Can we launch him? There we go. See? Launch, launch. And you juggle him like no tomorrow until he dies. Yep, and it does a lot of damage. So there we go. That's kind of the battle system in a nutshell. And I got, look, no stars. Because it took 4 minutes and 48 seconds instead of 2 minutes and 53 seconds. The star rating basically only determines what kind of items you get from a battle. Sometimes useful, sometimes not. Yeah, we'll do a few more, mostly because I like doing this. Where am I on the map? Alright, I'm gonna run back to the save point, and that'll get me some stuff. Do, 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 do. Is that 2 of them? Can I even do that? What do I got? Might just do an Eidolon. That way I can at least show it off. There are summons in this game, as you may or may not suspect. Alright, let's get rid of you, Rust Pudding 1. Alright, well, this will be a pretty tough battle. At least it'll be interesting. Oh my goodness. Alright. Let's see. Maybe I'll just summon the Eidolon. Get it over with. Oh my goodness. Are they still attacking Hope? You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Where is it? Here we go. Whoa! Summons and stuff. Each party member has a summon that they get eventually in the game. I think I have all of them at this point, but it's exclusive to each character. So they have to be your party leader to summon that particular Eidolon. They're not like super strong, but they're strong enough. And if you're under leveled, you'll be using it a lot more. Yeah, there you go. Alright, and you press X before the timer runs out. Whoosh! Fancy things happen. He turns into a horse. For some reason. Some of them turn into race cars. I don't know. I think the art designers are having a field day on this one. They're like, yeah, we got this horse. Do something with it. So they did. Alright, let's see. And you press a bunch of different commands that you've generated and use it in Gestalt mode. Well, I think at this point I've at least showed off every single thing in the combat system, so that's helpful. And the big closer. Jump, 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 jump. Boom, boom. It barely did any damage. Although a nice side benefit is that all your party members come back to life with full health, which is helpful. But it looks like I'm about to die. And I just did. Clearly I'm striking above my own weight. So, I think that's going to be where I stop. With my massive failure at leveling and actually doing good at this game. So, I will see you guys next time. Bye!